After 3 months, the NSX is finally making its return. Our fully built C30A is now assembled, but we're not stopping here. There's one last major piece for our fully built C30A. But before I can show you guys this, let me catch you up to speed. Now, it hasn't been that long since we owned this NSX. It was only 8 months ago that we were opening the container and picking this NSX up from Japan. What makes it feel like an eternity ago is all the obstacles that we've had to overcome with this car. The idea was to build my holy grail NSX. If I was going to do one, I was going to do it right. Most of you guys know the backstory by now, but just in case you're finding this series, that didn't go exactly to plan. While doing some engine out maintenance, we found a catastrophic problem causing us to rethink the entire plan. Long story short, we decided to fully build my C30A with the team over at Science of Speed. This is a large hit to the project and a massive delay in our timeline, but like I said, I'm building my grail NSX, and I'm gonna do it right. Last time you guys saw the engine, we were tearing it apart, and I can confidently say now that we have touched every single nut and bolt in this car. Unfortunately, some things came up and we weren't able to actually do the engine assembly, but we had some friends step in and really help us with that. Coming in to save the day, HQ Engineering, the masterminds behind NSX here in SoCal.
What's up? My name is Ryan. I'm one of the owners of HQ Engineering. We started off as like a little hobby shop, but it kind of blew up into what you see now. We ended up kind of falling into like an NSX specialty group. We kind of only service these cars for right now. I mean, we were fortunate that, you know, like you guys have been keeping us super busy. This is kind of what our bread and butter is. So we do maintenance, we do builds, we kind of do it all, a little bit of restoration. Our biggest thing is maintenance, obviously, to kind of just keep these cars running and on the road. Those owners tend to, most of them are just OEM plus builds, you know, a little bit of suspension work, maybe headers, exhaust. But for the most part, just kind of doing service, oil changes, keeping the fluids clean. You know, a lot of these cars, you know, they're 30 years old, so sometimes they need some electrical repair, like some gremlins here and there. So we kind of address all of that just to make sure that when the owners get on the road that they're not having any problems with their car. They can just focus on driving it, and that's the best part. Dustin, we just did a very simple assembly. You know, it was pretty straightforward. Like we do these every day, so we could probably do this blindfolded if we needed to. It's nice that you came with all the hardware, all zinc coated and everything. It really made things a lot easier. But you know, like with the NSX, like we kind of know where all the bolts and everything kind of need to go. So it was pretty straightforward for us.
HQ quite literally saved the day. Our engine assembly plans unfortunately fell through, and I knew that we needed an expert for building an intricate engine like the C30A. HQ saw that we needed help and were super kind to reach out and help us. Unfortunately, my travel plans got absolutely crazy during that process and I wasn't able to be here for the assembly, but like Ryan said, it was straightforward and the engine's good to go. If you're an NSX owner and you're looking for a shop in SoCal, HQ Engineering is the place for you. And you might be asking why we didn't have Science of Speed assemble the engine. They only take engine projects like that if the car in its entirety is with them, and unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen, but it all worked out. And we'll be at Science of Speed hopefully very soon. Now that brings us to today. This is what I had always planned for the NSX, even prior to the engine build, because that was a surprise and kind of turned into just the cherry on top, but this is what I always wanted for our NSX build, and today, it's finally time to do it and show you guys. So, to finish out our C30 build and get it into the car, we have the finishing touch. Oh, Science of Speed Supercharger. In all the madness, the engine issues we ran into were the best things to happen for this build. I bought the Supercharger before the engine build, and if we didn't find the bad cam, this could have been a whole different story. So if you don't know, my engine build now includes cylinder block pressing, cylinder head processing, forged pistons, bushed factory connecting rods, crank balancing, all new seals, gaskets, and I honestly opted for a ton of other accessories. This thing is going to be insane. What I wanted for the NSX is to get the most power out of the C30A and the most performance out of the C30A without compromising what the NSX is. And that's the C30A. The V6 in the back of this car is what makes it so great. And in order for me to get the maximum amount of power and performance out of the C30A without compromising any of that, my conclusion was to go with the Supercharger. A Supercharger, number one, I've never done before, but number two, the Supercharger gives you the same feeling of an NA car while giving you all of the performance and benefits of having forced induction. This is gonna drive just like it did NA, but now with just a whole lot more power and reliability. It's going to be absolutely epic. And like I said, it truly keeps the spirit of the NSX. And now with the SOS Supercharger, this is the game changer. This is the next level for the NSX while still keeping the spirit of the car alive. So we're officially getting rid of our crusty old intake manifold and replacing it with this beautiful Science of Speed Supercharger. So not only are we building my holy grail of grail JDM cars, we're building it in the absolute best way possible, my ultimate dream. This is farther than we have ever gone in any car before, from the body to the chassis, suspension, fully built engine, and now my first ever Supercharger. I am so excited, but with all of that, we have so much work to do, and we got to get started because we have T-minus 20 days until this car goes on the SEMA showroom floor.
It's a 45-page instruction manual.
And best of all, we have no idea what in the hell we're doing. So let's get started. But you know, I think that's what makes this so fun. Before we can start with the Supercharger, we had to make sure that this engine was completely finished. First, we installed a new twin disc clutch from our friends over at MA Performance. If you're ever looking for any performance parts, no matter which car and what you need, make sure to head over to MA Performance, link down below. Once the new clutch and transmission were on the engine, we started installing our new valve covers and gaskets. This means the engine's completely sealed. Now it's time for the Supercharger. Now for the fun stuff. Before we can do anything, we have to actually assemble our Supercharger. This is a Supercharger blower. We don't need it right now. This is our old intake manifold. We also don't need this, but I'm just showing it for some reference here. This thing is gigantic. In these two boxes, we have what is going to be our new intake manifold. The catch is, we have to just assemble the whole thing, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Thankfully, Science of Speed provides all the instructions that you need, so I'm gonna spend the next 5 hours figuring these instructions out and building our intake manifold. And I think this is definitely the scariest part because, truthfully, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna piece together this entire manifold step by step. I did opt for the optional cooling kit, so this will be extra steps during the process. To begin, it was a lot of cleaning and assembly of the smaller bits. I had to blow out the manifold housing and the cooler and then mate them, and when that was done, it was time to put on all of the accessory pieces. Once our fittings were loosely on, it was time to test fit it to the engine to make sure everything was routed properly, and damn does it look good. This gives you a really, really good taste at how spicy the Supercharger is going to be. Step forward here. Our manifold is now put together, it works. We're hoping the fittings work on the engine. Now all I have to do is make sure it's all sealed up. We can start installing this thing actually to the engine. This is gonna be epic. Manifold is complete. Well, mostly, we've reached the point where we can take a break from assembling the manifold. Time for the blower. This is the fun stuff. Now we get to assemble the actual Supercharger, putting the Supercharger onto the intake manifold, and then hopefully assembling it all on the engine. Okay, so from here, Supercharger is pre-oiled from the factory. Now working on the blower, it's time to get this thing assembled and prepared to go onto the manifold. There are so many small pieces and torque specs to pay attention to. Any small mistake could be catastrophic. We have to be very careful while assembling. We have a supercharger. Almost. Oh my god, what just fell? Oh, okay. Holy crap, this thing is gigantic, dude. Supercharger. Now that the supercharger is pieced together, we carefully check all of the bolts and get this thing ready to go onto the engine. There are a ton of small fittings, block-offs, etc. to pay attention to. Kind of insane what goes into making these run. All right, making some good progress here. The blower is now on the intake manifold. It's time to get the inlet manifold installed now. And this is gonna be the last piece of the, I guess, the supercharger assembly here. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this thing. Absolutely sick. That's insane. So this guy is simply just gonna go on something like that. Super nice, easy. O-rings already installed. I'm gonna blow this thing out and we can start bolting her into the supercharger. With the supercharger built, it's time for the most important part of this entire build. Let's put it onto the engine. Gaskets, and it's time. I think now once it's on the engine, we can say that we have a supercharged NSX. Okay, here we go. You ready for this? Oh, it's a big guy. All right, this is it. Supercharger installation. How's it look? Oh my gosh, dude. That's unbelievable. Oh my God, what have we done? A major step in the build is complete. We've got the fully built C30A. We've got the supercharger put on, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. There are so much left to do. We've got fueling, throttle body, all of our cooling. There's a lot left to go, but this is a big step forward. All right, time for all the small stuff. Dude, Tim, just look at this freaking thing, man.
It's, you know, SRT what? I've been working on the front end of the car, heat exchanger or water-cooled intercooler inside of the supercharger. So we have a little cooler, another radiator for up front. That'll get pumped to the back and go through the system. So there's a system which has a pump on it that flows the coolant through to the supercharger. We're gonna have to get a new one of those made because ours is right-hand drive. But I'm just gonna install all this now because you don't need that piece to run a supercharger. If you want more power, yes. Right now, but I prepped everything up here and then this just bolts in. So let's get that put in right now.
Massive progress here. The supercharger looks incredible, but like I said, there's so much more work left to do here. While Timbro works on the car, getting our coolers in, getting some of the fuel stuff, the fuel tank out, I'm going to be continuing on the engine here. Before we can put this thing into the car, I want to do the fueling. You can technically probably do this inside the car, but while it's out, it's be a whole lot easier to reach and get everywhere. So our main focus today is to get this engine in, but first, let's get all this stuff done. Along with the supercharger, like I said, I got a ton of optional accessories. For now, I'm installing the fuel system, which includes a new fuel rail, fuel injectors, and a fuel pump, all for E85. Next up, I got the optional 75mm throttle body to feed more air into the supercharger, meaning more power. All right, we are making some serious progress. Day 3 of the engine assembly and supercharger install. It honestly, look at my, oh my gosh, I'm looking crazy right now. It might not seem that long for you guys because it's probably 10 minutes into the video right now, but we have been cranking away. There are so many small bits and pieces that go into actually making this car work, but we are so close to being able to put this thing into the NSX. Along with the throttle body, the fueling, if you guys come up here, you guys saw Tim install this a little bit earlier, the optional cooling, which is going to allow for a whole lot more power with the supercharger. You don't have to do the cooling, but I opted, if we're going to do it, and if we're going this far with the car, let's just go all in on the supercharger as well. So we did cooling, fuel, updated throttle body. Is there anything else that went with the supercharger that I am forgetting? Yeah, I said that already. Fuel. No, that's everything. And with all of that, we should have maximum performance out of not only just the engine, but the supercharger as well. We are so close, guys. Just a couple of bits and pieces left, and then this thing is going inside the car. Oh man, Tim, we're on to the last step.
We're almost there.
Wire harness is installed on the engine. One last thing that I did, I knew I was forgetting something when I was talking about all the other stuff that we upgraded. I also opted for all brand new coolant lines. This was an optional piece of the engine build puzzle here, and we could have technically reused the lines, but again, if we're already this far, I might as well just full send. I can confidently say every single nut and bolt on this car, and now lines and hoses have been touched and or changed, which is absolutely crazy. This is the deepest that we have ever gone on a car, Tim.
It really is.
It's also very scary because in the back of my head, I'm like, we just built this entire thing. What if something in here is loose?
That's on you.
That's
on you.
I know I tightened everything.
Mine are tight, yours are. That's just how we're gonna look at it.
It's so scary. I think we're both going pretty insane right now, but we are so close. We are on the last, what? Oh. Don't let it pop.
Everybody knows how scary these are.
We're on the last and final step. Once all of these brand new coolant lines are onto the engine, this thing is going into the NSX for the first time since March. So it's been March, April, May, October, in 8 months. The first time that this engine will be in the NSX in 8 months since we got it from the port here in Long Beach. I'm so ready. One more step, here we go. I think it's time for enough talking. We got all the necessary coolant hoses in, and it's time to line up the engine and get it mounted inside the car. One side. Damn it. How close am I to the other side? And we have an engine. Everybody's happy. An extra 3 minutes. Oh, one more time. Let's go. One more thing I forgot to mention is we did upgraded engine mounts. These are the innovative red mounts, so the hardest that you could get. So this thing is okay. Yeah. It's very stable. It's very stable. But yes, the engine's in, but not fully in. One last thing that we have to do before we can finally say this engine is mounted permanently in this car. We got to put our subframe back in. Well, I can't believe we did it. And you know what? That's a lie. Actually, I can't believe we did it. But I feel like it feels like that because it's been such a long time. It feels like over a year has gone by since we've had this engine in this NSX, but we have actually done it. I just want to stare at it. It's incredible. It's everything I could have imagined. We haven't even started this thing. We're not even close. Okay, we're closer, but there is still so much work to do. I'm so excited, and I wish that I could express into words how proud I am of us for tackling something like this. This is by far the biggest build that we have ever done. And I think what gave us that confidence is when we rebuilt the Cayman GTS, which that was a very, very big undertaking as well. But we have never done a build to this capacity where we've done the body, we've done the chassis, we've done the suspension, the engine, soon to come the interior. I mean, like, we have touched every single nut and bolt on this NSX. And that just makes me so, so proud. Like 13 years ago, you know, 17-year-old Dustin, 16, 17-year-old Dustin with his Honda Civic, never in a million years in a different universe could have imagined that we would be doing something like this today. Like, this is just out of my wildest dreams. Like, to be able to build the R34 was another holy grail and ultimate dream car for me, and that build is special to me in a different way because we got to do that one in Japan at a reputable shop, something that I always dreamed of doing, and kind of like set my mind to that and stuck to it and think that was really, really cool in its own way. But to actually have hands-on all of the build, that's what I think makes this one so sentimental and special. Coming from Honda being my roots and the love that I have for these Japanese cars, the NSX was always another one like the R34 that I never thought I would get to own. And to be able to do stuff like this, it's just incredible. And the fact that we're gonna be able to display this on the automotive industry's largest stage, I could probably go on for way too long, and I know you guys get the point, but I'm really proud and I'm really, really excited. The engine's in. We did have a little bit of an issue finalizing putting this in. The last thing that you guys saw were the engine mounts and getting this thing mounted. Let me update you. When speccing out this entire build, I tried to buy a lot of stuff in advance, just so that when we are building it, we can do it all fluidly. And I actually bought these innovative mounts. These are their highest rated mounts. These do not fit great or at all. So we are gonna try and figure out how to make these work. We're gonna put the OEM engine mounts in and do mount by mount to see if we can actually get these to fit. I just think they're so stiff that there's no wiggle to like get these to work. So we're gonna try and figure out a way, and I'll update you guys in the next episode on that. We've got the engine mounted into the car. That is the biggest step. And now that you guys know it's supercharged, this is going to be a spicy, spicy build. But what's coming in the next episode is what I am most excited for. And I bought that stuff before I knew the engine was blown. And I kind of went full send. That's the reason this build is way, like 4 times over the budget that we allotted for it. But it's gonna be worth it. And I'm really, really excited to show you guys. But to close it out, I'm excited, I'm proud, and like I said, there's a whole lot of work to do. As you guys are watching this, we have a little bit less than 2 weeks until SEMA, which means we gotta finish this car, and those of you that stayed this long in the video get a little sneak peek. If you've been paying attention, we have a car right over here under a sheet. That's a car I haven't even shown you guys. It's not even started. We don't even have all the parts for it, and we have to get this car built and painted in less than 2 weeks. So please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. You're not going to miss the next episode. But before we end today, you guys really liked it when we did it in the day in the life video. So we're going to do it again. I'm taking you guys along for a night of our Pokemon local. So finish with the NSX. Let's go do some gaming. We're back for another Pokemon night. I think we're going to have to call this segment in the vlog Cards and Cars. I think it's so funny how you guys, well, at least some of you guys are interested in the Pokemon content. It's just something so nerdy that I've been loving to do. And tonight we're actually heading to my favorite local shop called the Hungry Dragon. It's the coolest shop ever. I rarely get to go just because of their playing hours, but Team Money again is on a work trip, which means the boys are home alone. So today we're gonna visit the Hungry Dragon. It's super sick. sick because not only is it a card shop, but it's also kind of just like a cafe lounge. You hang out, you can go there, get coffee, get food, but also play all of the different TCGs, which I think is super sick. So this afternoon we're gonna go play some Pokemon, and tonight we're trying something a little bit different. Now I'm gonna get real nerdy with you guys. I'm sorry, but only the real nerds here may understand what I'm about to say. Tonight we're going with something different. I am usually a Raging Bolt player, but tonight we are trying out a Cellular Edge deck, which is from the new Mega Evolution set. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, every so often the playing rules change, cards rotate out, new cards come in, and this is the newest rotation with Mega Evolutions. Raging Bolt isn't so great anymore, as you guys saw in the last Cards and Cars episode. So tonight we're gonna try out something different. Do I think it's any better? Probably not. It's my first time playing it, and I've never played it in person and or online. So it's gonna be a fresh look at an entirely new deck. I've already gone on too long about this. We're going to play some cards tonight. And tonight, my car of choice, we're breaking out the 34. I don't drive it enough. Honestly, it still kind of makes me nervous driving it around town, but man, do I love this thing. And every time I hop into 34, I get that nostalgic feeling from when we were back in Japan. It's just so cool. So we're about to pull up to the Hungry Dragon. We're gaming tonight, boys. Welcome to the Hungry Dragon. It's also like just such a sick name for a card shop. Also, let's just take a second to quickly appreciate. Oh man, it's so good. The best part about the shop, IVL while you're playing. There's a ton of people tonight. Holy crap.
Steven! Oh, you did it! I would want to go first yet. Okay. And do you want to cut my deck? Alright, good game. Yeah, thank you, good game.
Good luck. I'll mow the drone, and I said I'd go first.
Yep.
Attack return. And then just knock you. Good game, dude. Good game. Quick game night update. One game one, one game two. Moving on. Tonight's actually a TCG challenge. It's not even just a standard game night. This is like an actual challenge tournament. It's spicy. That explains why there's so many people here. But 2-0. Pull off.
One on the coin flip.
Let's go. All right, moving on. Game number 3. Game 3. Let's go, dude. Stoked. We finally get to play each other.
I know.
GG's, brother. Knock you.
All right, knockout.
No. Yep. Oh.
Well, actually, no. You played
GG's.
first.
Yeah, I did.
So you would have just
Yeah.
You would have had. That was a good game.
3. Win.
Oh, yeah.
GG's, dude. That was a good game. That was close. That was so close. Well, quick update. My game camera unfortunately died, but game 4 update, another win. We are currently 4-0 going into our last round. Cross our fingers. This is crazy. I did not expect this tonight, but it looks like the new deck is working out. We're extra nerdy tonight. 4-0. Moving on to the final round. GG's, bro.
GG's,
Good game, man. 5-0. We just won the entire tournament. What is happening? Cerulege 5-0 tonight. That was so crazy. I think we redeemed ourselves from last weekend.
Tank has gone absolute.
So good. Also, rocking the Legend shirt again, dude. This is a VIP one, right? So good. It's so sick. Yeah. Well, thanks, bro. Good game tonight. Well, we're gonna play against each other one day.
One day.
Yeah. Let's go. Bring it home for the boys, Chris. We got prize pack and $25. Let's go. See you, brother.
See ya.
Have a good night, man.
Congratulations, dude.
Let's go. Crazy,
man.
Crazy. Definitely didn't expect that one, but coming home with the win. That's crazy. And since tonight was a challenge, we get official Pokemon points. I'm such a nerd, but hey, it worked out. All right, it's late. We gotta go home. I gotta eat supper. get some sleep because we have a busy week coming up. Oh, you're still here. Thanks for watching this long. If you made it this far, you should consider subscribing right up here, or I guess down below. And YouTube really thinks that you're gonna like this video right over here, so maybe check that one out. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's get back to it.